What's up everyone, my name is Ash and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about some Final Fantasy XIV and I'm going to be going into a deep dive into the Scholar class. Basically just going to be explaining if it's a starter class, if it's more of a advanced experienced player class, and all those types of details. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to start off with, we're going to start with the question, is Scholar a good class for new players? With Dawntrail coming out, I'm sure there are a bunch of new players coming into the scene, and the first and the most, in my opinion, hardest question to answer is, what class do I want to play? That, or which race do I want to play? So, as a starter class, I believe that Scholar isn't the weakest class out there. I think that there's no real class or job in the entire game that is extremely hard at the early levels. This is mainly because there just isn't a whole lot to do compared to later on in the game. You've got a lot of actions to juggle, but it's so much easier, I would like to say, to juggle. Scholar itself as a healer class, I personally am more of a fan of White Mage or Sage or Astrologian. I'm more of a fan of honestly every other healer class. For me personally, Scholar I don't know what it is, but I just seem to really not get a good understanding over its kit, and that's going to lead on to this discussion about, is Scholar good for like late game and end game and learning properly? And in my opinion, I would probably say, honestly, for the first job, I would probably say no. I would probably get to 30 or 40, maybe even 50, and then probably move on to something else, have a look at some other classes. I would probably suggest that for a lot of classes anyways, but for me personally, I think that Scholar is a bit tougher than most for beginners, especially at the higher levels. Maybe that's just a personal preference for me. I personally think that that Scholar is a lot harder than some of the other classes in the game. Who knows, maybe you'll find it extremely easy to play and it'll just sound like I'm talking out of my ass. So moving on to fun factor with the Scholar class. Scholar is a very fun class, I would like to say. There's a lot going on with the Scholar. You've got a lot of fun different casts and spells, and you've obviously got the Fairy, which is really, really cool. I like both of the summons that we have in this game, or any sort of avatar summon type thing we have, like Reaper's avatar, Summoner's Carbuncle, or Scholar's Fairy. There's probably another one, I'm probably forgetting it. Oh yes, the Dark Knight clone is pretty cool too. Yeah, in terms of fun factor, I would definitely say Scholar's very fun. Personally, I just cannot really recommend Scholar as highly as other classes. I did have more fun on White Mage, I did have more fun on Astro, even though I haven't even got Astro to 90 yet. And I also had more fun on White Mage. Getting all three of them up so far has been a funner process than Scholar. And I think that's just probably due to my lack of understanding over Scholar's kit. If you get like your rotations and the kit down on Scholar, which I haven't really looked too much into, I just kind of hit the buttons because that's how I play the game. But I'm sure that if for most people that enjoy the kit would definitely get much more fun out of Scholar. I do feel like Scholar's quests though are quite a drag. It also, in my opinion, has one of the most painful quests in the game. I don't remember exactly which level it was around, maybe the 60-70 range. There is a quest that a lot of people struggle in for the job, and apparently when I was reading up on it, a lot of people would stop playing Scholar because of this quest. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, if I'm being honest, but it is certainly something to keep in mind, that there are a few job quests for Scholar that is like a bit of a drag. But then again, I do suppose that a lot of the different jobs, do have quests that tend to drag on a bit. But I do think Scholar, out of all the classes I have leveled so far at least, absolutely has one of the most painful ones. The only other one I would consider would maybe be Black Mage, just because Black Mage is much tougher to play than most classes, in my opinion. So I'm just going to give a straight answer. Would I recommend playing Scholar as the first class? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm a bit on the fence. I know I've said all these great things about Scholar, but that's just because personally I do think that Scholar is overall a fine class. I don't think there's anything terrible with it. If I were to give it a tier on a tier list, I would put it in the middle, because I don't think it's great, but I did enjoy my time with Scholar. As a healer, I do think that, personally, Sage or White Mage is probably still my favourite. So and having one of those classes be a class you can unlock straight away, I definitely recommend them over Scholar, though Scholar does have one huge benefit, which I haven't mentioned yet, and that is the fact that Scholar's base class, Arcanist, it does also, when it gets to Scholar, it will also scale your Summoner class, because they both share the same class. So both of them get to level up together, which is really, really cool. You can level up 2 classes for the price of one work, and in my opinion, in a game like Final Fantasy, that is a very, very cool feature. So if you just want to get more classes up and just get a bit of variety in your gameplay, I would absolutely recommend playing Scholar first, because you're getting Scholar and Summoner up at the same time. You can get Scholar to 90 and decide, you know what, I'm going to try another class, and then go and try Summoner, because you've got it at 90 and you already completely got stuff for it, and you can actually get into the gameplay straight away for Summoner, sorry. And I definitely think if that is the perspective you're taking it from, I would 100% agree that Scholar is a good first class, just for that added bonus of leveling Summoner up with it. I think the perfect way to describe it for me would be that I would get Scholar as a good first class. I would pick it as a first class for the Arcanist until level 30. But I would not recommend it for a first level 90. Now, with that being said, I think that'll do us for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Share the video, all that good stuff. I got some gameplay in the background for you guys to enjoy, some more gameplay of Scholar. So yeah, thanks for watching.